How are you? I have a pretty interesting story to tell. And this story is about a modern woman. And this modern woman that I've known for quite some time, maybe 6, 7 years. We'll just we'll just call her Amanda. Just for some privacy aspects. And Amanda has been hitting the Tinder and is it yeah, hitting Tinder, plenty of fish. She has herself out there trying to find her a husband. And for the longest time she's been trying to find her someone who makes, by the way, let me just say this. Amanda, and that's just the name we're calling her for this here. She she's the whole time I've known her, she's been looking for a husband. So much so that she's taken these classes on like bettering yourself. Like we're talking about big, huge, thick pamphlets. I mean, I've read through some of this stuff and it's like pretty amazing. It tells you what kind of person you are, what to expect from this type of person and how to find your true self and how to find that true who you are or who you want to be. Sorry, let me switch this for 1 second. It was we just drove by some construction and the smell of that tar totally tickled my nose tremendously. Let me not get a copyright strike. And I can see Nas's. Let me let the popo go. Oh, okay. Just one way to get there. I'm getting distracted by all of this going on. Look, a lot going on here. Harlem stand up. I'm sure they're just trying to get a cat out of the tree. Everybody, come on, everybody show up. Everybody, come on. So, Amanda's telling me about what's going on in her life as the latest update. Mind you, she's taken all these classes. She's also fertilized her eggs just in case she wants to have a baby. I mean, she's like frozen her eggs or whatever. Not fertilized them, she's frozen them. I think she even took out a loan to freeze the eggs. And she also has been looking for a husband, like really serious about finding a husband. And when I was speaking with her, this is 145th Street in Harlem / Washington Heights. That was Amsterdam we were on, and now we're heading towards Broadway. And she was basically saying, like, listen, oh no, so I'm just giving you a little backstory. So she's been trying to find a husband the whole time I've known her. She never wanted to keep her body count up, but after, she's waiting a few months, she's going out on all these like dates, and they never lead to anything. That she got hit up recently by like a classmate from high school. And this person reached out a few times in the last couple of years. And basically this dude is a straight beta man who she was kind of like making a joke, testing out the waters and saying like, hey, if you're willing to service me, then you can come over. And he was like, cool, I don't mind just doing that only for you. So she wound up getting that done, and it turns out that this person is really good at it, has her like in a whole nother place in life, like, oh my god, this is amazing, like he's basically turning her into a water hose that can like shoot across the room, kind of a thing. So now she now is, after all this time looking for a man, she was always looking for a high value man, looking for a man who made over 100 grand. I think she's making about 80 doing what she does. She's like she went to one of the Ivy League schools, and her life is in a situation where she believed for a very long time that she was one of the top attractive girls in her like high school and college, and she always felt that she had time. Then she hit 35, and now she's a few years older than that, and starting to say like, I need to find somebody. I want to have these children. My biological clock is ticking. So she then confides in me with a question, and she's like, what if I have a baby with this guy? And I was like, well, tell me about the guy. And she's like, she showed me a picture of him. He wasn't unattractive. He looked like, he was taller than her. He was balding. And I think they're the same age. And next thing you know, she's now considering having a kid with this guy. She says the guy never finished high school. She said the guy is unemployed, and she's wondering if she could just bring a baby into the world with this particular beta man. And he's a total simp, because he's not requiring anything from her. He's just servicing her. She's like out of this world being serviced by this person, and she's like starting to find him cute now. Like, he's not that bad. But it's just interesting how she always wanted the alpha male. She always wanted the high value man. And he's only wanted to make her a side piece, or he's only wanted to shag. So if she ever tried to get serious, it would never last but, like 2, 3, 4, 5 months. So she wants to, the one main question she has for me is, could she have a child with the guy, and is it okay if she has this child with this man and do not include the child? Like, I said, is he gonna live with you? You're gonna get married? You wanna marry this guy? She was like, no, I just figure as long as I can tell the child who their father is, opposed to with the in vitro, whatever goes in when you freeze your eggs, whatever that process is, she feels that child won't know who their father is. So maybe at least she can say, look, there's your father right there. Is that okay? And I was like, no, it is not okay. It is not okay in any way for you to bring a child into this world without having a relationship with the father. And she says, but he doesn't have a job. And I was like, well, what about sweat equity? What about, like, maybe you can do better? Like, I'm like, maybe you can do better than a guy with no job and who hasn't done any college. Is your biological clock, is it that serious? Is it screaming that you're ready to take this guy? Because, and then she says, I like the guy because he cleans the house. And he's into cleaning the house. So he's like a total beta man. He's the guy who's going to take the kids to the park, all that kind of stuff. He's only going to get laid whenever there's children involved. And then he's going to be servicing her on into that capacity for their relationship, and most likely she's gonna have to see other men so she can get roughed up and have the alpha man take control of her or take over her possibly. And she just wants to know, and I'm like, whatever you do not raise a child without the father. Like, the reality for her is that he has no job, so I'll have a baby with him, but since he can't provide monetarily, then I don't want no part of him. And I was just like, you can't be serious. You cannot be serious. Like, to just imagine how modern women, their mentalities, that they just put a dollar value on everything. And then I say, what about his ex-girlfriend? Can you call her and have a conversation with her? She says he hasn't had an ex-girlfriend in 7 years, and she suspects that maybe he's never had a girlfriend. So we got a 37-year-old man with no job, probably working the whole unemployment situation, renting a room in someone's home, and she's considering having a child with this person. And also, check this out. Let me take a little sip. So check it out. What does she do? She says that it reminded her of this situation that happened in college. When her friend graduated from college, she said, was referring to her then boyfriend, and said, he has a car, he has a job, I'm locking this dude down. And she said that all her friends for the next 10, 12, 13 years would always make fun of that situation. They were like, remember when they thought that she was such a fool for leaving college to go get married and lock a man down because he has a job and a car. And now she's considering having a baby from a man with no job, no car, and living in a room. Modern women have been lied to. That's a fact. If she would have just understood, oh, and by the way, the woman that she's talking about had a baby, has 3 kids, still married to the guy that she locked down right after college, and has gained 60 pounds, and is still being loved by her husband. Hello. Is that an Emoji King? What's up, Emoji King? How are you? So modern women are out of their minds, and they allow Disney, Cosmopolitan, and all these places to tell them this. Yo, big homie, I'm still here. And where? In Japan. What's up? Hey, what's up in Japan? How are you? Star brought me here. Well, Star has done a great job. We love Star. At least if we don't love him because the streets have no love, we respect Star. And the game is to be sold, not to be told. That's why I donate. I just wanted to take a moment and just talk about this friend of mine who we're calling Amanda because we don't want to, we don't want all her business out in the streets. Hit me up in the comment section. No. I'll tell you this now. I don't know if I mentioned it, but Amanda is a white woman who was raised in Tribeca and went to the prestigious schools in New York along with an Ivy League college. So this is a white woman I'm talking about, and the man that I'm talking about is her high school friend, and he's also a white guy too. More on like how hashtag race is a con. Race is such a con. We're all doing the same things. We all have, like I say all the time, we all have the same fears. We all have the same desires, and we cannot follow mainstream media and dictating how people's what people's lives are like, because we're all doing the same thing. We're all wearing the same clothes. All our furniture is all the same. Our art that we like is still the same. All the things that we are programmed to believe is good is still good, and what's bad is still bad. But that doesn't mean it's true. You are appreciated. Thank you very much. I look to check in again with you soon. Thank you for spending this time with me.